Was that some of the biggest suffering that you've ever endured out there? Or like, I love a good suffer story. So indulge me with some good ones. I'm sure you've got plenty.
Yeah. So the thing that's kind of funny, so the thing that I contribute to a lot of the success I've seen, but is also a weakness of mine, is I don't do a lot of research into what I'm going
You and me both, man.
to
I'm just like, yeah, I'll figure it out when I get there.
Yeah. Yeah, so oblivious.
Okay.
And so, the Colorado Trail is just shy of 500 miles. I started in Durango. So I've gone to the Hard Rock 100 almost every year for the past 4 years to spectate and run part of the course. So, I know how brutal the San Juans are just from spending time out there in the past. The San Juans, like you're typically above 12,000 feet. So I wanted to start in Durango so I could get that knocked out of the way. Um, but I was so oblivious that I thought once I got through the San Juans, I was gonna like drop down and just kind of be hovering around 6,000 feet the rest of the way. um, I had no idea that the majority of the Colorado Trail was above 10,000 feet.
Yeah. Yep.
So just the altitude was kind of a slap to the face, being up that high that long. Um, yeah, like I said, getting to the third and fourth night and onward, like I don't know if you've ever heard of air top before.
No, what's that?
So they make those hard shell pop-up tents that you can put on like the bed of a truck or
Oh,
the
yeah,
roof.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I have one of those.
Mhm.
Has a nice like memory foam mattress and stuff in it. So,
Mm.
at all my cruise spots where I tried to sleep, they would pop that up and I climb up into it and lay down for like a good 45 minutes or an hour at the most. And then they'd wake me up and give me some food, and I'd just kind of be sitting up there and eating and stuff. A lot of the nights that I was in, it was super cold, like down to freezing or below. So, like by that fourth night and onward, like woken up an hour later after going to bed, um, it was just so mentally sad. um, like I wanted nothing more to be able to climb into a bed and just sleep for a full
Yeah.
8 hours. Um, so like usually that first hour, hour and a half after being woken up, I was pretty grumpy. I was pretty tired. I was pretty sad. It was really hard for me to climb out of the tent into the cold night and keep going.
Yeah.
I'd say like the biggest suffering that I experienced was just like mentally not being mentally trying to accept that I wasn't going to be able to get a full night's sleep till I finished the freaking thing. And then I guess like physically about mile 400, I strained my quad.
Mm.
So from mile 400 to the finish, I did a lot of limp running, limp walking.
Uh,
I took the buff off of my head and like kind of made a makeshift brace that I put above my knee to like kind of put pressure on my quad. So that helped a little bit, but like the final day and a half, 2 days was just like a lot of limp running and it was pretty painful.
uh, how much sleep did you get out there?
Uh, did the math and it was just over 5 hours.
Whoa.
It's about 45 minutes a night.
Whoa. Crazy. Hallucinations?
Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, fourth night on, I had hallucinations almost every night, and just like silly things, like I saw some monkeys riding a four-wheeler. um, and that was actually caught on camera too. Like I just kind of like stopped and was staring, and my pacer was like, "What are you staring at?" And I was like, I see two monkeys over there sitting on a four-wheeler, right? That's not real, right? So like I still had a little self-doubt, like I was so far out, I thought it might be real. But like the craziest thing that I experienced was deja vu. I've never experienced that before, but like the deja vu was so strong for like 3 nights continuously that I was like convinced that I could predict the future.
Oh,
Um,
whoa.
and
All
you could
right.
like,
So this scares me. I haven't been into this territory yet. I've had some hallucinations, but I remember seeing a video of Courtney DeWalter and she was kind of having, I don't know if it was the same type of thing, but she was talking to her crew and she's like, we've been here before, right? And you
yep,
can tell just looking at her, she's totally tripping. Like,
yep,
we've been here before. And they're like, no, we've never been here before. And she's like, she's convinced that they've been in that location before.
Yep.
So yeah, this stuff starts, it kind of freaks me out, man. But yeah, sorry to cut you off. Go for it.
It's okay. The video you're talking about with Courtney, that was actually while she was on the Colorado Trail.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, she experienced it too. But it's crazy. Like every section that I was doing, I was like, I've done this before. And then I'd be like, well, have I? Because I haven't even been here before. So how have I done this before? But like, I just go right back and be like, I've done this before. My wife paced me for the final 16 miles and she like surprised me. But like when she started pacing with me, I don't think you really surprised me. Like we've done this before. We've been here. I knew you were going to surprise me and do this with me. And then like every rock we'd go by, I'd be like, yeah, like I remember this rock. And like I was having a hard time going on the steep downhills. I was like, this is what happened last time we did it.
Whoa.
And then the craziest part, like the final 6 miles of the Colorado Trail it's called Waterton Canyon.
Yeah, I've been
And it's
there.
just this like, yeah, it's like this 4-lane dirt highway. It's like super like graded out, super smooth. We were running down that and it was at night. And this is kind of a whole other subject. The canyon's closed at night. And it's kind of a weird way to end the Colorado Trail because you have hikers, you have people who are coming out this canyon and you can't really predict when you're going to come out. So we had these security guards that like came up to us and they got kind of mad and they're like, what are you doing here? This canyon's closed. And I was like, sorry, we just came from Durango. This is what time I got here. Got to get out of here. So like, like in my head, I like those security guards, like I could predict that was going to happen.
No way.
I had 5 runners that came to meet me, 3 of them that I never met before, but we ran out together for the final 4 miles. And in my head, I was like, any minute there's going to be 5 runners that's going to come around this corner and run out with us. And that's what happened.
Whoa.
But in doing more research, the only thing that I can figure out is deja vu. Your brain is processing things so slowly that you see it, you think you're about to tell the future, but you've seen it like in that moment, and then your brain registers that it's happening. So I saw those 5 runners coming. It didn't clue into my head that I saw them coming. So in my head, I was like predicting the future when in fact I was seeing them in that moment. And then my brain finally processed it and I was like, oh yeah, there they are. I just predicted the future. So from what I've studied, that's kind of what deja vu is. Your brain's just processing things so slowly that you think things are happening again, but they're not.
Wow. I mean, that seems like a logical way to look at it, but I'm sure it seemed way different when you were there in the moment.
Yeah. No, yeah, like now I'm like, that's what happened. Like
Okay.
I just was processing things, but in the moment I was convinced I was predicting the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
Yeah.